Hey guys, often I get the question, which boat should I buy? Since last year I've crewed on 8 different boats. An ML Maramoo 46, a Pearson 323, a Vagabond 47, a Halberg Rassi 42, a Gypsy 52, a Jano 33, a Leopard 46 and a Jano 42. I hope that my comparison will help you in your decision making. I will first be talking about cruising boats. When I started sailing, everything was new and exciting to me. Oh my god, a 46-foot ML, that's huge, so much space. On that first trip I was sleeping next to another crew member in the forward cabin and someone else was sleeping in the living room and the owner in the main cabin. It was normal to me to sleep next to a stranger, I didn't know better. Luckily she didn't snore. Then I went on a 32-foot Pearson with 3 to 5 people. And after a while there were a lot of small frustrations just because you are always on top of each other. I was sleeping in the living room and there was no private space at all. Then I moved on to a very wide 47-foot Vagabond and found out how much more comfort feeling a wider hull gives you. But this boat also only had 1 front room and 1 back room, and me and Oceana slept in the living room again because we were with 4 people on the boat. Every time when someone woke up, I woke up, at least in the beginning. If you put 1 or 2 people in the living room, they might get frustrated at times. Currently I'm sailing on a 42-foot Jano and have my own room, which is really nice because I can close the door if I need some privacy. These are things you should think about before buying a sailboat if you're planning to go long-term cruising. In the small range, the 32-foot Pearson 323 is a great little boat. It's about 30 years old and very strong. A boat similar to this is a great boat for 2 people who really like sailing and don't care too much about comfort. Even though this boat was very well equipped, it doesn't give you the comfort feeling of being in a house. In the middle range I've sailed an ML Maramoo 46, a Vagabond 47, a Halberg Rassi 42 and a Jano Sun Odyssey 42. Even though the ML is the second longest, together with the Halberg Rassi it's the smallest of the 4 because of its narrow hull. That's just how they built most boats 10 to 30 years ago. The Vagabond 47 is an older boat which is wider, and that combination also makes this boat slower than most boats from the same length. The Jano 42, which is only 10 years old, is really built to give you the comfort feeling of being in a house. For comfort and size, this is the absolute winner. You do give in on quality with this boat, it's not built very expensive. I personally don't see a reason to buy a boat bigger than the mid-range, because the newer mid-range boats have space and comfort enough. Unless you do charters, have a large family or want a big boat to show off to your friends. Should you buy a ketch, a cutter or a sloop? It's really personal, but I don't see any advantage in a ketch. It's more work, more things it can break and slower. And I've never felt an advantage compared to a cutter or a sloop, but I'm sure some of you will disagree. Cutter or sloop is really not too much difference. Then, should you buy a normal mainsail or roll-furl mainsails? Newer boats often have roll-furl mainsails, and it's a very logical system. When the wind picks up, you can reef the sail from the cockpit. Whereas with a normal mainsail, when the wind picks up, you have to go on deck to reef the sail. It's pretty illogical as actually the deck is the last place you want to be when the wind picks up. According to many, roll-furl mainsails can get stuck, but I never experienced this. Which boat you want to buy depends on your goals. Everybody always disagrees about the best boat. If you want my opinion, if you are a die-hard sailor, don't need too much luxury and are on a budget, let's say $30,000, buy a minimum a boat similar to the Pearson 323, even better a 37-foot, to get some nice comfort for the long term. If you are on a medium budget, let's say $75,000 to $150,000 US, buy a boat similar in size to a Jano Sun Odyssey 42 DS. If you have more money to spend, or if you are prepared to work a lot on your boat and buy a boat in a country no one wants to buy a boat, buy a catamaran. There are many people who don't like catamarans, but most of the cruisers who I met who are cruising for a long time either would like a catamaran or have a catamaran. Yes, you might have to be more careful on high winds, but for long-term cruising they are really comfortable and fast. I can tell you that people sail every type of boat around the world. There's no boat that can't go around the world, whether it's a fin keel or a full keel or whatever. But there is a difference in where boats are made for. So if you buy a boat that's made for weekend cruises, you might have to expect more work on it if you want to sail it around the world. If you just want to buy a boat for in the marina and weekend cruises, just buy the nicest and widest boat you can find. Like a Jano or Beneteau, that's exactly where they are made for. The best advice I can give you is, try to see the inside of as many boats as possible so you know what's available. In the beginning it all looked the same to me. If that's your case too, do some research about the overall width of the boat you're interested in and the quality or purpose it's built for. Also, if you're planning to do long-term sailing, it's really nice if every possible future crew can have its own private space. Last but not least, contact a broker you trust. If you don't know much about boats, you'll never get the best price. A good broker can help you search for the right boat for your goals. You can make a pre-selection of which boats to go look to, and although a broker costs money, he will negotiate with the seller and save you money. I wish you all the best in your decision-making process.